Hello guys, how are you doing? And today we're gonna solve or we're gonna study, we're gonna learn some new topic of our math lesson. Now are you ready for solving some math problems? And okay, just let's begin. And we have today's our topic is the average value, dispersion, and the standard deviation. This is the one of the fundamental and crucial parts in the math statistics, and all of you have to know what is this and how to solve some problems with this. And before the lesson, just you have to be ready for the lesson, and you have to know the fundamental parts of the statistic, or the median, the mode, and just listen carefully, because math is the one of the crucial parts of your life, and of course the one of our most requirement things is your good mood. And just let's begin. And before the learn the new topic, you have to know how to analyze, how to write, how to read the data which we have, the set of data which we have. And for example, let's consider that example. And here you can see, as you can see, the 25 students weighted up, and the table was filled by this data, or here, and the data you can see here, and we can separate it to some intervals, and you will understand why we separated it into some intervals. And here you can see that the student who weighs between 39 and 24 is the one student, not the quantity of students, and between this weight, the 4 students. And here you can see that the quantity of our numbers is, we can call it the frequency, or here we can just conclude that the frequency is the number, is the set of numbers which how much is repeated in our data. For example, if you have the 20 times 5, like 5, 5, 5, and etc., the frequency of 5 will be 20. Like here, the 20 parts of the 5, and the frequency of the 5 will be 20. And just let's consider it on the histogram, and as you know, we can write it 1 student, 3 students, 8 students, 7 students. And here it doesn't matter, or just write it by the growing, like 7, 8. If we have the 1 student, and here we can write the weights of our students. For example, 39, between 39 and 24, between 23 and 27. And here you can see that the 1 student from this, here you can see that the 8 students who weighs up between 38 and 39 and 24. This is just example for which I just imagined, and here just cancel out. And now, as we conclude, the frequency is the number, how much our number in variation is repeated. But here, the next question: what is the variation? The variation of number is, for example, we can understand it by just considering this kind of example. And here, if we have the numbers like 4 times 1, as you can see, 2 1 times, and 3 times 3, and 2 times 4, and we can write it on the table like the variation is the set of number which we have on our data, which we have on our given information. For example, 1, here we have only 4 kind of numbers, this 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here, as we said, the frequency is the number, how much is our number in variation is repeated. For example, the 1 repeated 4 times, the frequency of 1 will be 4. The 2 repeated only 1 time, was written with 1 time, and so that is why the frequency of 2 will be 1, and etc. Now, when you understand what is the variation, what is the frequency, let's review about our new topic is which called the average value. The average value, known as the arithmetic means of the terms, if the average term of our given information of our set of data. For example, we can consider it like the formula of average value. The sign of average value looks like that, and here the sum of the all terms divided by, or sum of the all terms over number of the terms. And for example, if we have the numbers like 4, 3, and 5, yeah? And we know that of all our terms is the 4, 3, and 5. And here we can, as you can see, the sum of our terms, and here we can write the 4 to find our average value. We can write the average value equals to 4 plus 3 plus 5 over, we have only 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3, yeah, as you can see, and over 3. And this our value equals to 12 divided by 3 is equals to 4. And we can see that the average value of these 3 numbers equals to 4 by the sum. Very easy and simple mathematical steps. And let's consider the example number 1. Our given information is the salaries of all 7 employees of the small company are this one, and we have to find the mean, which, as I said, the mean is known as the average value. If you made the word like the mean of, you have to find the mean. That means that you have to find the average value of your given terms. And here we have all of 7 terms, and we have to, for example, initially we have to add all of these terms, and we can write here plus 1 plus 10. That's divided by, as I said, we have the 7 numbers, and this here we can write our average value is equals to, and here we can and the average value of all salaries of 7 employees will be equals to 18 divided by 7, and that's equals to 18, and that is our average value. And here we can clearly see that all the average salary of employees is equals to 318. And let's solve the second example. Remove all it. And here, the very essential point. Just imagine that we have the number. Just ignore this one. Imagine that we have the numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Over the total number is 5. And here you can some number, yeah? Precisely your average value. And we have to imagine that this numbers is our everyday marks for our actions. And here we can conclude that our final, here just imagine that that is your final result, and we can conclude here that our final result will be as much greater as our everyday actions greater is. And here you have to grade yourself every day and increase your everyday marks to achieve the very increased final result. You have to improve, you have to increase your everyday actions, you have to increase your everyday marks as much as it possible to achieve the goal that you are want to get. So that is why never be lazy, and with persistence every day solve math examples, which can really help you in your life. And here we have to remove all of it. We can consider the next part of our lesson, which is called the dispersion. Here, what is the dispersion? Dispersion helps us to understand, to separate the data, the set of data which we have, and we can sign the dispersion like with this sign here, just like x, or it doesn't matter any possible variable, and here the square of all numbers. That's mean to find the dispersion we have to subtract from the square of all numbers the square of the mean, and as we pass it, as we know, the square of the average value of our set of data. And here just consider some examples to better understand what is the dispersion. And here, just let me remove it. And here you clearly see that the variation which we signed up with x is the 20, 21, and 22. And here to find, as I said, the formula of the dispersion is the x squared minus all the square of our all average value. And here you can see that to find this one, we can write the square of the number of the part of variation divided by the frequency. Here we need to firstly find this term. Our first step is equals to the square of the 20, times 5, added to square of 21 plus, divided by 3, and the square plus square of 22 divided by 2. And all of this over there, here you can, as I said, the 20 is repeated 5 times, 21 is repeated 3 times, and 22 2 times. And all of this together will equals to 10. And here we can write 1, and that is our first equation equals to. And here we have find the next one is the square of our average value. It is the second step. The square of our average value is equals to, as I said, to find the average value, just add we have to add all of the numbers and divide it by the numbers of the terms, and here just write 20 times 5, because 20 is repeated 5 times, as I said, plus 21 times 3, plus 22 times 2, and here divided by 10, because we have all the 10 numbers, and here the answer will be and our third step and the last step is just to subtract this from this one. And we can write the 1 minus, and the answer will be 0. And this our dispersion of this set of data. And here you can just notice that the dispersion never can be equals to 0. And the next one just we have to know is the standard deviation. What is the standard deviation? Just as simple as pretty easy. The standard deviation is just a square root of our value of dispersion. For example, if our dispersion of set of data is that one, and our standard deviation will be just a square root here. I can write our standard deviation will be equal to just square root of this. And yeah, as I said, that is pretty easy, and I think that is enough for today. And thank you for your listening, thank you for your participating, and just solve everyday math problems. And don't forget to increase your everyday marks to achieve the goal, that you want very easily. Okay, goodbye and thank you. See you later.